Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing V Series V's. I do for the platter. I'll go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit rainy out, but I think we can deal. I think that after the 1,000+ episodes that I've done of this show that have ranged from the absolutely horrendous to the mildly less horrendous, that's about the gauge that I tend to work in, I think we can deal with a tiny little bit of rain. It's not even rain, it's like drizzling rain. I think we can do it. But anyway, folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there, try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside the truck. Whilst I'm inside the truck, I'm also wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today, like 1,000%. Because I did just get off of work. It was a little bit of a night. It wasn't awful, but it was like unnecessarily difficult, is the best way I can put it. But we got through it. I was on my way home. And I was like, shit, I gotta get gas. If I don't get it now, there's no way I'm gonna get it, before I go to work. I'm just gonna end up driving to work on practically fumes. So I was like, I'll just go take care of it. So I stopped off at the Speedway by my house. An interesting fun fact about Speedway, they are owned by 7-Eleven. It's the same company, essentially. What did I find at Speedway/7-Eleven to review, folks? Well, boom, it's a new breakfast sandwich. It is specifically the 7-Eleven French toast sandwich with ham, egg, cheese, and bacon mayonnaise dressing. They also have one with sausage. Why am I not doing the one with sausage, you might ask? Because, actually, I've already had that one. I had that one for lunch a couple days ago. This one in particular, though, I hadn't tried this one, and it was there, and it was available, and it's warm. Like, it's all nice and warm. So I didn't have to do anything with it, and I figured, fuck it. Thing. Ha 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 ha. We'll try to get a better thing when we open it up. So yeah, it's a breakfast sandwich. They're trying to be a little bit fancy. They're like, if McDonald's can do a McGriddle 20 years ago, well, surely by now 7-Eleven technology is caught up. Sad thing is 7-Eleven started in America, and then it had a Japanese division that it mostly slagged off. It really didn't care very much about it. But then the American version went over there and did such a piss-poor job of managing itself that the Japanese version of it had to go over there and buy it out, so now it's a Japanese company, which is perfectly fine. I don't give a fuck who owns it. It's just about what you do with it. And, I've seen videos of, Japanese 7-Elevens. They're so much cooler than ours. They have, really good food and, all kinds of stuff, and it's ours are yeah. But, to be fair, we do get occasional tasty items. Let's open this up, and can we get a decent looking, I think we can make this work. Can we make this work? I think we can make this work. It looks like that. So let's give it a go. I'm a big fan of sweet and savory as a combination, and sure, why not? That's not bad. Definitely think I like the sausage one better. For one, I like sausage, like breakfast sausage. It's pretty much my favorite breakfast meat. But Brandon, what about bacon? I like bacon. Bacon is amazing, but bacon is so versatile. You can use it in so many things. But when it comes to breakfast, I usually want sausage. Ham is fine, but it's a distant third place. The main things for me out of this, how does the French toast taste? How does it all combine together? And do I get that nice sweet and savory aspect? Because that's what I'm looking for. And actually, Burger King just went over there and released a couple of French toast sandwiches as well. I reviewed them. Go watch that video. So, going into this, it's a gas station sandwich. I'm not expecting it to be particularly wonderful or fascinating, but I would like it to be fairly competent and, hopefully not going to go over there and give me food poisoning. Again. To be fair, 7-Eleven, as far as I know, has never given me food poisoning. Taco Bell's done it, though. A couple times. It's not fun. If you've never had food poisoning, good for you. I would avoid it like the fucking plague, man. But no, this is actually pretty good for what it is. Bacon mayonnaise is a nice flavor. It's definitely one of the strongest flavors in the whole thing. But one of the things I gotta give it credit for, it's gas station food, but it's not bland. Because a lot of times you get gas station food and it's very 7-Eleven and Speedway, they're okay. They're not as good as the best places, but they're not anywhere near as bad as the worst places. Their stuff tends to be decent. So, as for my criteria going into this, how's the French toast? Well, is it as good as properly made French toast? Of course not. I wasn't expecting that. But, can I tell that it's French toast? Yeah, I would say it actually does have a French toast taste to it. It's not as prominent or as vibrant as I would like, but it's there. It's definitely not at the level of even like the White Castle one, but it's there. Then it's about how the whole thing is working together as a sandwich. That's the other criteria. Okay. Not as well as the sausage. The sausage one I feel it just worked better. I just feel like it really brought it together as a breakfast sandwich. Whereas with the ham, I feel like it's there. It's doing its thing. It's not awful tasting ham. It's not great, but but it doesn't have that same punchiness as the sausage. And moreover, it doesn't really have the same effect for me personally as a breakfast item. I mean, you can have ham as a breakfast item for sure. My dad was a big fan of a ham steak, But me personally, when I'm thinking breakfast meats, sausage and bacon. Ham is, like I said, it's a distant third. But it's there. The eggs, I mean, they have minimal flavor, but they're there. They honestly, they probably just go over there and sort of help out the flavor of the French toast, because, obviously you get like a little bit of an egginess with French toast. The other thing is, the bacon mayonnaise, which is interesting, because it has a little bit of a tanginess, just a tiny bit, but then it does have sort of like almost a little bit of a smoky, bacony taste to it. That's interesting. I think that also worked better with the sausage. I think that just worked better because I think the sausage had more flavor to offer, so it could kind of offset the bacon mayonnaise, which in this is almost too prominent. It kind of takes away from some of the other flavors, which brings me to my final point. Oh, God. There we go. It's amazing when you start choking and you're almost about to die, and it's like, just grab a drink, you'll be fine. Most of the time. But, am I getting that nice sweet and savory aspect that I want from it? Not very much, because again, I feel like A, the ham just isn't a strong enough flavor, and B, I think that the bacon mayonnaise is too strong of a flavor in this combination. But, all that, I've obviously gone over there and I've, cast a little bit of shade on the sandwich. Is it terrible? No, it's perfectly serviceable, and especially for being a fucking gas station sandwich, I've had substantially worse. But I've also had better. I've even had better with this particular configuration with the sausage version. I think that's just a better version of the sandwich, personally. But I don't hate it. it's filling enough. I think it was like maybe $5, like $5.99, something like that. No, it had to be less than $5.99. Maybe like $5.50 or something like that. Because I got this and gas, and I put 20 in gas, and it came out to like 25 something. So, I mean, 2 questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Probably not, and kinda. Thing for me is, if I was going to get this sandwich again, I'd get the sausage iteration. I'm not saying I would never get this one again. Maybe the sausage one. Excuse me. Maybe the sausage one isn't available. Maybe everybody grabbed up those because they watched my review and they're like, oh, this is what we should do. And then I'm left with just the ham version. But it's definitely not a first choice option for me. Whereas with the sausage one, yeah, I could actually see that. That's one I would grab again. Now, if I'm recommending it to other people, your mileage may vary as far as, what your preferences versus sausage and ham. But it's not a bad sandwich, and I think it's one of those things, if you're looking at it from a 7-Eleven perspective, because that is the lens that you have to look at it through, again, it's not a bad breakfast sandwich. Like, fundamentally, it's not bad. I think it has some decent flavor to it. I think that, it's not a bad idea sandwich. I think if they were going to go over there and come out with multiple variations of it, they should have just done sausage and just done straight bacon. I think those would have worked way better than trying to, sort of edge in some ham. Or if you're going to do ham, go over there and do it, with some other kind of meat or something like that. Just to, give the ham a little bit of a help. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I would, in fact, go as far as say it's better than okay. I would go over there and say that it's all right. It is all right. That's how I'm going to gauge that. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest. Week, Monday, mentor, much spenders. Your folks, you go over there, have yourselves a truly sweet and savory tastic rest of your life. Because that is just, for me, it's one of my favorite combinations. I know, one of my commenters on my channel mentioned that he is not personally a sweet and savory person. Some people aren't. I remember I got into that conversation with my friend Sam one time. I've known Sam since he was a little kid. And we got into a bit of a kerfuffle over the value of sweet and savory as a flavor combination. He was not a fan. But final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to go over there. Try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it. Jesus. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, know how the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole? It's actually when you're fucking choking to death. So I'm going to try to get through this end part pretty quickly. It's where we run into situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholeness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. Don't choke on a 7-Eleven breakfast sandwich. It's not a good time. I know, you're thinking to yourself, but Brandon, all of the cool kids are doing it. Look, I'm going to tell you something about those cool kids, all right? They're no friends of yours. If they're going to go over there and put you into situations that are going to go over there and potentially mess things up for you in your life, then you don't need to be around those people. And you just go over there and hang out with your cousins and shit and never get laid. Hey, D&D is fun. Anyway, bye.